Imagine a room with a refrigerator that has been constantly making a hum sound in the background. Now imagine living in that room for 20 years along with that background noise. Because it has been running since forever, it would be almost impossible to even know it as noise. You would feel like, yeah, this is totally normal. This is what silence is. What are you talking about? But imagine how would you feel if somehow, for the first time in 20 years, that noise stops.
Have I gone deaf?
You would probably go like, what was that? Is this what true silence feels like? How do we know we're not doing the same thing in our heads 24/7? Living inside a noise that is so constant, so subtle, that we started calling it as peace. The thing is, we have all had such peak moments of absolute joy. They are very rare, sure, and definitely short lived. But yes, we definitely have at least one of them. Several years ago, I did a snow track in northern India, and my group had to start at 2 a.m. at night from the final base camp so that we can watch sunrise right when we reach the summit at 6 a.m. So after 4 hours of climbing, when we reached the summit, I witnessed the most breathtaking views of a sunrise ever. It blew my mind. Every single heartbeat I felt was so strong and distinguished. My whole body felt so intensely alive. I couldn't imagine how good I was feeling. Like, definitely, I would have called it as this is peak joy, peak joy. No pun intended. Deepest joy, absolute joy. What is one of your such moments? Can you recall any such moment where you are like, you know what, this is it. This is best. And it doesn't have to be a stunning landscape, by the way. It could be anywhere from obviously stunning landscape to one of your best music experience ever. It could also be some of the most intimate moments with your partner whom you really connect with. It could be reading an absolutely crazy in the sense, reading a book that really shakes you from your core. Recall that moment. Also recall what did it felt like in that moment. Take a moment, and here is an important question I really want you to sit with. Is that external situation the core reason you felt that intense joy? Or the situation just happened to unlock something that was already within you? The joy that was already within you. It's just that it was buried under constant noise. Somehow we always believed that the source of all joy and happiness we seek and experience isn't the outside world. It comes from the experience. But is that really true? Now this might sound a little abstract and or even woo-woo. But hear me out, because we are going to discover a very beautiful paradox at the end. The real reason, the core reason we feel such intense joy is not because of these external situations. It's because in these moments, the noise that we did not even know was running finally stops. And here's why. If you closely notice the nature of that noise, its main food is thoughts. Thoughts about something that has already happened, past, or something that is yet to happen, future, or even something that may never happen. But these thoughts are what feed that noise of refrigerator. And in these moments, the power from the refrigerator gets completely cut off. There's no thoughts. Your mind goes completely blank. You're absolutely present. There's no noise running. And this leaves you with absolute peace. That peace that was already within you. It is just that it was constantly buried under that non-stop chatterbox that is our mind. But notice how we are so used to always chasing the external. From large-scale moments like building a big business, becoming famous, chasing the next level in your career, having seeking a relationship, or even getting married, to even small scale events like constant digital stimulations, activities that give you adrenaline rush, which are very temporary, food, music. And what happens when we get it? First of all, it is never nearly as satisfying as we thought it would. And even if it does, it never lasts long. Someone really once put it like this: there are two things that really make us miserable. One, not getting what we want. And second, can you guess? Getting what we want. And why is it like this? Because by chasing, all we are essentially trying to do is overpower that noise that is already running by a bigger, pleasant sounding noise. It's like compensating a bad taste of a burger by putting a slice of Swiss cheese on it. And you can see how it is never sustainable. First of all, the relief is very initial and temporary, it doesn't last long, and it takes an insane amount of constant effort to maintain it. And despite knowing this, we still keep chasing it. Why? Because this chasing, it has a very seductive quality. It keeps us under the illusion that the peak joy that we want is just out of reach. Just a little bit more and you'll be there. Just a little bit more money, just this deal with the client, or just this next level, or just this person, and I'll be there. This core flaw of mine, of always chasing the external or mistaking the source of joy in the external, is the root of all our misery. But most of us fail to realize it. And I'm no different. I have lived in this fallacy for a long, insane amount of time. I used to have thoughts like, is my life ever going to get better? What if it never gets better? What if I remain stuck forever? And no matter how hard I try to improve it, no matter how much effort I put in, no matter how much I learned about my problems and tried to solve it, no matter how desperately I tried to change it, it never felt enough. And even if I got it, even if I made the change successfully and everything, I get even more miserable than before, because earlier at least I used to have an excuse that, hey, okay, I am miserable because I don't have this sorted out or something like that. But now I've tried it, I have it, and I still feel miserable. So there's a component of hopelessness in this. Until several years ago, I reached a point that I just couldn't take it anymore. I was just so damn tired that I reached a point of threshold of suffering, and I finally realized a shift. The shift of discovering the existence of a background noise. Earlier, I did not know. I was completely lost in that noise, that I did not even know that there's something going on in the back of my head. But now I know. The noise became so apparent, so noisy, that I just couldn't ignore anymore. It became so damn painful. But the beautiful part is, the moment I started observing it, it weakened. And with this, the urge to always keep using the external also weakened. Slowly and steadily, even the most ordinary moments started feeling so much more joyful. Why? Because now there is no background noise to escape from. And everything else, everything external felt like a big fat bonus. I swear to God, it is one of the most relieving moments, because this is permanent. It takes no effort at all. It is literally the best shift you can experience. You remember all those peak joy moments we discussed about earlier? Every time after this realization of that shift, every time I realize those peak joy moments, I really realize that, wow, it is really not the outside all this joy that I'm feeling is already within me. And the experience intensified even more. And slowly and steadily, the shift itself started getting stronger. And the less I relied on external world. The reason why this happened, because why the noise weakens, is because the noise cannot tolerate awareness. Awareness is the enemy of that noise. The moment you are witnessing the noise from a distance, it weakens. It starves of its unconscious energy. Essentially, the more you are observing it from a distance, the more it weakens. And this requires no effort at all. And it is one of the most beautiful things that can ever, I would say, happen to you. Even that is not fully correct. But yeah, and we will discover on deeper aspects on how you can still work on weakening the noise some other day. But this is the permanent shift I'm talking about. Here's the best part of all. If I really hadn't reached the rock bottom, if I was not truly tired of that noise, I would have never realized the shift. If I had gotten all those external stuff that I ever wanted through effort, I would still be living in a golden prison. That prison sounds very fancy and good to the noise, but at the end of the day, it's still a prison. I would still be having that dependency on the external stuff for my peace, joy, and happiness. So at the end of the day, all that suffering, all that dark time became my greatest gift. Now, an important distinction needs to be made here, because the mind, due to its very nature, will use this insight that we have discussed to fuel the noise even more. It will take on a new language. It will say, you know what? I don't need to make any money. I don't need to have any relationship. I don't have to explore anything else. And it will deny everything external in the name of inner peace. But that is not the real realization that we're talking about. The shift that we have discussed is not just another thought. See, the mistake is not wanting all that external stuff. It is absolute human need to want to make financial progress, to be resourceful. There's a genuine impulse in wanting to explore different places on the planet. And it is absolutely human to want to share your life with someone. But the moment we bind to the assumption that the source of the joy and happiness come from these things, and without these we lack something, that's when we suffer deeply. And here's a beautiful paradox. The moment the shift happens, which is again from always seeking it outside to realizing it's all within you, you enjoy the external so much more fully than before. I cannot put in words just how much. I mean, all your external experiences will go 1000x, if not a millionx. And yet, if you give enough depth to this shift with patience, even the best of your experiences will still pale in comparison to what you have discovered within. See, you don't have to force yourself into realizing this. You don't have to believe any of what I've said. You just need to see it and realize it for yourself at first hand. Once you see it, the urge to chase the external will drop by itself. You don't have to do anything. You just need to create enough space for it to happen naturally. And the joy will become your natural state. And how do you create that space? Here's an experiment I highly recommend. Spend 10 minutes alone doing absolutely nothing without going to sleep. And during these 10 minutes, see if you can notice that there is something going on in your head. There's some background. Just notice. If you don't discover, that's okay. Just be curious. Notice with curiosity, observe with curiosity if there is something going on in your head. Is there anything that the mind is yapping about? If there is, what are those thoughts? What is the nature of those thoughts? What is the language of those thoughts? What is the texture of those thoughts? Are those thoughts about past, future? What? What are the favorite topics of your mind that the go-to topics? And chances are sometimes you may not even discover that there's something going on. That's fine. Just be curious if there is a noise. That's all you need to do. That is the space I'm talking about. There's no fail or there's no good way or bad way to do this. You just need to observe it with peace. It won't happen in one go because the noise has been developing since I don't know how many decades now. But that is the start. That's when the possibility of shift happening by itself can arise. When we meet again next time, we will discuss about why the noise even exists in the first place. Is the noise even our enemy? How can we work with that noise? But that's for next time. Until next time, adios.